This is Groundeffected. My name is your dad, and today's video is sponsored by Tanuki. And if you didn't know, this is Zenitsu from Demon Slayer, one of my favorite characters from that show, because I feel like this is my spirit animal. And if you're afraid of painting eyes, well, this is a model that doesn't have eyes, because this guy, for whatever reason it is, seems to fall asleep whenever he farts. So, because he's using his power, he is currently asleep, which means you don't have to paint his eyes. Fantastic! Now I need to prepare this model, and in order to prepare this model, I'm going to be using my rotary device. This is, I don't even know the name of it, but it is basically a jeweler's rotary device thing, but I feel like it's a little bit better than these ones, and these are definitely good enough, but I'll be totally honest with you, they tend to go flat at the worst of times, but it's nice to be able to have two tools, and then you don't have to change the heads. And for sanding off any blemishes and things like that, I'm going to be using this little sanding wheel thing, which I have no idea what this is. I will try and get Frankie to leave it in the description if it's possible. Oh, by the way, this thing needs to be plugged into a whole thing, which has got like a little spinny thing, and then you use your foot switch to drive it. It also has to have this massive motor, because that's what actually drives the damn thing. So anyway, I'm just going to get into preparing this model. I'll be totally honest, there was a slight print flaw. I think that my suction was a little bit too much suction-y, and so I'm going to need to fix all of this, but I'm going to do all that, and then we'll start painting. By the way, fixing that base is going to take too long in this video, so if you want to know how I did that, you should check in the Patreon, because I'm going to upload a video for that in there. Now this character has some magical stuff floating around him, and I printed that in a crystal clear resin from Uniformation. This resin it's got a slight bluish tint to it, but I don't really care because I'm going to be changing the color of it anyway, and it is one of the best clears that I have used so far. Other than the blue tint, it is pretty fantastic for a clear resin. I'm going to use a yellow ink with a tiny mix of fluorescent orange to paint them the color that they need to be, and then I'm going to use fluorescent orange mostly from the bottoms to give them a little bit more shape, as you could say. I'm then going to take a gloss clear spray lacquer and I'm going to spray that over the top of each one. I do 2 layers of this because one layer I find is just not shiny enough, so once it's dried I will give it a second layer. Now this model is an anime style statue, so I'm going to try and approach this a little bit differently to how I normally would paint one, and for the parts that are going to be orange and skin tone, I'm going to be spraying that with a white primer first, and every other little bit I will be spraying with a black primer. I have lately been using this Kaleido from Gallery, and I can be honest, I like it quite a bit. It is not the worst primer in the world. It is something that works. It makes a little bit less mess than something like the Citadel sprays and stuff like that, but I've been using this for a while, and maybe if you're interested in it, there will be a link in the description to something, probably. I don't know what's going on, to be honest, but what I do know is that I had a small print failure on the base of this model, and I did make an entire video going over how I fixed this on my Patreon, so if you are interested, you can join the Patreon to see it, and if you're astute enough, you can probably figure out what I did to fix those problems. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking now and put some music on while I paint the rest of this model. The base for this model is actually quite simple, if I'm telling you correctly. I think that it is very simple, because basically it's just some stone and a little bit of wood. And so to do that, what I did was I dry brushed 3 different greys over the stone areas, and then I used this Mornfang brown over the top of the wood area. But this was obviously not enough. You cannot just expect one color to be acceptable, and in fact, if you like it, well then you can stop right there. Who is telling you what to do? Anyway, what I did was I went a little bit brighter on that wooden color, and I slightly raised the amount of yellow that was basically available inside of that color by just picking colors that went a little bit brighter with a bit more yellow and a little bit more white. This is going to create that depth that you can see, as you can tell, and I also focused that on the front portion of the wood and not at the back. I also came back and dry brushed over some of the areas that I got some brown on the stone area. Now what I'm showing you is actually a pen of sorts. I found this when I was looking for more stock for my shop, and originally it was the plan to just draw with the pen over everything, but I can tell you right now that pen does not draw over everything. It is a hard pen end, and it's crap. It does not draw at all over things. So the paint inside is very nice. I can tell you that it's very nice, but I can also tell you that it paints a little bit like crap. This is because it needs to be quite thick in order to make it go shiny. I don't really know what the whole thing is. I'm pretty sure it's alcohol based. It's just not the easiest thing to work with in the world, but the color is very nice. In fact, if I could just have this paint in a bottle, I could get around the fact that it makes streaks when you paint it. Other than that, I pretty much just used that to paint all of the little sections that are around the golden section of the base, and then I used some Agrax Earthshade to shade the in-between portions of the wooden sections on the top, and also to put a shadow underneath the character itself. I can then put all the little magical pieces into the base, and the base is pretty much done. I sprayed some black grey over the pants and also the torso section in order to create a little bit of highlights over that black area, and then I set about working on the yellows and the oranges. And to create this, what I did was I sprayed basically a pink, a darkish kind of pink. It doesn't have to be too dark, but in the realm of kind of magenta is a good area to be, and this will create the shadows. Basically, I sprayed that all into the shadowed areas, and I sprayed then a clear kind of yellow over the top. To be honest though, most yellows are pretty freaking transparent, so this will probably work no matter what yellow you're using, but in my case I'm using a contrast paint, so this paint is quite transparent, and because of that I can make use of the fact that the pink underneath will turn that yellow into a lovely warm orange, and this creates all of the shading that I need to create on the model. Now I can start working on the patterns that are on his suit, and they are just triangles of white, but if you did white, the entire model would look so dumb. It would just, don't do white. So I use deck tan to do this because it makes the most sense. I used some black to paint his socks that go in between the little areas of the outside colored, whatever that area is. I don't even know what it's called, but I used black. Clearly, you can see I used black. And then I sprayed some skeleton horde over the top of the sandals in order to just make them look a little bit dirty. The fact is, they cannot be so clean, otherwise it would look really weird. I'm going to use the same deck tan that is out on my wet palette, and I'm going to paint that over his entire belt, because his belt is also technically white, so I'm going to do that right now. Once the belt is painted, I will take some black and paint over the loops that the belt goes through, because these kind of got a bit messed up while I was painting the white, or deck tan shall I say. I also painted the little circular pieces in the same color, which is black obviously, and then used some dark silver to paint the buckle of the belt as well. this is obviously needing to be done very carefully, but if you make any mistakes, you can easily come back and cut back in with the deck tan again. Because there is no shading, it is easy to come back and work over the areas that you've already painted. Carefully using the side of my brush, I will line over certain things like that. I don't know what it is. I think it's a pocket in the front of his chest, and I did that with deck tan and also the collar of his shirt. I'm now going to use some neutral grey, and I'm going to paint that into the undersides of his coat. This is because this needs to be a slightly darker grey color, but it can't be too dark, because if it's dark, obviously it won't be the right color, and it's going to darken a little bit. I know it looks quite bright here, but you'll see once it dries, it darkens quite a bit, and it will make the underside color of his jacket very perfect for me. There is some areas on the insides of his sleeve that need the same attention given to as well. While I do that, I want to quickly tell you about the sponsor of this video, and this is Tanuki Figures. Now, Tanuki Figures creates some models every single month that you can get for a very low price, starting from as little as £10 or dollars a month. That sign is actually the dollar sign. Anyway, basically, from $10 you are going to be getting busts and like chibis and a little couple of extras and a turn, things like that. But from $15 you start getting 4 premium full-size statue figures at 1/6 scale, and from just $20 a month you get 6 of them. 6 busts, a chibi, an extra, a turn, 6 legacy figures, as well as welcome pack. There is genuinely, it is a huge amount of stuff for such a low price. And I will mention that Tanuki is running their first painting contest. Their prize for that, by the way, is going to be $1,500. That's for first place. Second place is $500. Third place is $250. Fourth is $150. Fifth is $100, and the rest are probably losers. No, you're not. If you are entering the competition, though, you are a winner, because you will be doing the thing that you enjoy doing with the chance to earn a freaking bag after that. Go and check out in the description for Tanuki Figures, and I'm going to carry on telling you how I painted this model. For skin tones on this model, I decided to keep it pretty simple, and I used a base coat of rosy flesh. I'm going to pretty much spray this solidly over everything. This is going to cover all of the skin areas and be the base color that I'm going to be using. On top of this, though, what I'm going to be doing is replacing Orcish Dermis with German orange and some red. I'm going to mix these in my airbrush with no care to the world of how to do this correctly. I'm just going to literally shove the two in my airbrush, mix it up, and see if I like it. I don't, so I add a little bit more red ink and mix it again, and now I can spray this into the shadows. And you can see this is pretty much almost near as damn it to be an Orcish Dermis. This is why I say Orcish Dermis has got red ink in it. I'm convinced of it. Anyway, once that layer is done, I'm gonna now move on to putting a lighter skin tone over the top of that. This could be in the form of a yellowy kind of skin tone, or even you could go a little bit more whiter. It's up to you depending on what you want the effect to look like. But in my case, I wanted to skip the painting of yellow over the top of everything at the end, so I just used that sunny skin tone, which will make it look very nice. Now, I was convinced that I had filmed painting the hair, but I didn't, and you can imagine it because it was pretty simple really. I literally just used that Imperial Fist yellow and a brush and just brushed over all of the hair. The fact that you see orange on the tips is because I left that Orcish Dermis mix thing that I made in the tips. I sprayed it purposefully onto the tips of the hair as well, so that when I put the yellow over the top, it gave me the effect that you're seeing. I did put some Iandan yellow over the top of that though, just to reinforce that orange a little bit more and make it a bit brighter. I then painted his eyebrows, and I used some Magos purple to paint his lips. And then very carefully, using a very small brush and some black thinned down to the right consistency so that it's easy to work with, I'm going to paint the lines that are his eyes. Now, remember I said that it was easy because you didn't have to paint eyes? Well, I mean, it's easy-ish, but if you make any mistakes, you got to go back to the beginning, and that's really going to suck. Anyway, I painted all of the lines that are on the face of this model. I also used a little bit of Mornfang Brown to paint the little crease lines that are on the inside of his nose area for his scrunch of his face. And that's pretty much where I called that part done. Now you would think because it's a ground affected video, once I've put the head on, I would be done. Well, that would be wrong. I did not finish it after that. I had to finish the hands. And this is the only time that I used the pen for what it is. By the way, most of the time, genuinely, it's better to open the pen and pour the paint out and use a brush. Genuinely, it's just so terrible, the tip of that pen. But I can now move on to painting the extra sections of the sword, and I will let you know, I thought that this stuff from the pen dried pretty well and quickly. It does not, especially if it's really thick. It takes ages to dry, and I definitely touched it a few times, which really annoyed me because there was fingerprints in the golden areas. So that's why I'm holding it very carefully and trying not to touch any of the areas of it. Once I had got the left arm done, it was time to move on to the right arm, and this one was a little bit more complex, but not too crazy. I painted some deck tan over the little material that sticks out the top end of it, and then I painted his blade with some black. Once that black had gone sufficiently flat and had dried, obviously, because painting over white would be crazy, I was gonna paint on, there's like a weird little lightning bolt thing that goes on it. I'm pretty sure it's part of his powers, but I painted that using some deck tan, and it's the same color that I used on the handle as well. I used that to paint over all the areas and leaving the black triangles in there, and here you can see me painting that lovely lightning bolt, which I then took some yellow ink and painted over the top of it so that it would turn it yellow, obviously. And once this was done, it was easy enough to put this hand onto the model and call this one done. Well, this is the end of yet another ground affected video, and I just want to say a massive thank you for watching this video and any of the videos that you may have watched before in the past, because of course all of your watching is very important to something that makes the videos do better. I don't really know, I don't claim to know or care, or even I don't even know why I'm here, but I'm here. You've watched this video, and hopefully if you watched it while on the toilet, you're gonna wash your hands, because if you don't, well, then your breath will probably stink and your mom won't love you. So wash your hands for your mom to love you. The next thing I want to say quickly, by the way, is if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button, because if you do that, I will have one more new subscriber, and that's obviously the only way you can measure your coolness on the internet. So I want to be really cool, so please click the subscribe button, click the like button, and also click the share button and share it with your granny. If you notice and go back and hear me say those again, those buttons will each individually light up when I say those words, hopefully, because if they don't, then, well, I don't really know, but I've seen it in other videos, so hopefully it does it for mine. Want to say a massive thank you though to my Patreons, because without the Patreons, none of this would even be possible in the first place. They are truly the ones that keep everything going. They keep the lights on, blinding my eyeballs. And if you're interested in any behind the scenes and work in progress pictures, as well as palettes and all the rest of the stuff, go and check out my Patreon and consider subscribing to that too. Now I want to say the best thing of all my videos, which is, if you didn't like anything you saw, I don't care, and you can now pause.